What are we all doing now?
It's time to play the game. What is up, people? Dobbs Ruler Society with Mama Dobbs, and we are reacting to something about Triple H. Now, this channel is called WhatCulture.com. They are like the biggest things about wrestling of all times. They have comics, they have their own wrestling community, they have everything that a fan wants. But they also have a lot of secrets about some wrestlers. Today, we are reacting to the 10 things that WWE want you to forget about Triple H. Now, if you guys want to know, my mum is a big massive fan of Triple H. She loves him.
I wouldn't quite go that far.
You'd want to touch him.
Excuse me.
Come here, come here.
No.
Yes, you would. Anyhow, let's go and check out the 10 things that people want you to forget about him. So really not doing it?
No.
Ah, there we go.
It's all about the game, because he pretty much runs the company, and will do so until he's using that sledgehammer as a cane. Triple H rose from a ridiculous spot to the biggest heel in the company, to the king of kings, to the heir to the company, using a strategy of guile, talent, and well-placed daughter husbandry. But his journey to the top was not without its stumbles. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 things WWE want you to forget about Triple H. Number 10, the curtain call, otherwise known as the Madison Square Garden incident. Now this seems positively tame today, but back in 1996 it was the equivalent of Triple H taking a dog-sized bowel movement on Vince's company, by which I mean the bowel movement was the size of a dog. Now, the Clique was a backstage group. They were a cross between the Backstreet Boys and the Skull and Bones Club, made up of Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Triple H, X-Pac, then the 1-2-3 Kid, and Shawn Michaels. They were a big group of influential bezies. On May 19, 1996, at a house show at Madison Square Garden, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were both wrestling their last matches for the company before leaving for WCW. Hall was wrestling Triple H, and Shawn was facing Nash in the main event. After that match, Scott Hall and Triple H joined Nash and Michaels in the ring, and the four embraced, completely breaking kayfabe, a cardinal sin, especially back in the 90s. Vince was furious, and not only did the four men expose the business, but some fans had managed to tape them doing it. With Hall being gone and Michaels being champion, the punishment fell solely on Helmsley. He lost his planned King of the Ring victory to Steve Austin and wrestled jobbers for months. Naughty boys. Number 9, being burned by his own entrance. Triple H's WrestleMania entrances have always had a touch of the extravagance about them. Most of them have been genuinely longer than other matches on the card. Some of them are good, like whenever Motorhead play live. Some of them are terrible, like this absolute travesty from WrestleMania 31, where Triple H was dressed as a grumpy toy, carrying a handful of stupid shrunken robot heads. But most embarrassing was his entrance at WrestleMania 29, when the game got second-degree cold burns from his own special effects. He appeared inside a big skull fortress thing, bit dumb, and then he walked through the entrance through what he thought was a jet of smoke, was in actual fact dry ice.
Shit,
it coated the game's torso in the stuff, whilst also horribly
That was before the
burning.
match.
The internet didn't realise this, and spent the entire time mocking the man because he looked like a frosted treat. Number 8, the hog pen match. A hog pen match is a wrestling match, repeat, wrestling match, when your opponent wins by throwing you into a hog pen. Wrestling match. There have been only 2 proper hog pen matches in WWE. I'm not counting the redneck triathlon, no one should count that for anything. One involved Vicky Guerrero, an untrained manager, and Santina Morella, a man dressed as a woman. The other one had Triple H in illustrious company trips. He battled Henry O. Godwin, his initials were HOG, ha 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 ha. During the match, Triple H got slop shoved in his face by a big hairy man, but he eventually won the match by throwing Godwin into the pen and probably frightening the pigs who had no idea what was happening. Then Triple H himself ended up covered in mud. Remember, everybody, dignity is precious. And speaking of dignity,
back in the
number 7,
90s.
his movies. Wow, Triple H is not aside from lending to his voice to a Scooby-Doo feature, Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery, and cameoing in TV shows, Triple H has only got 3 movies under his belt, and they're all terrible. In 2 of these films, he plays a con coming out of prison. In The Chaperone, he plays Ray Bradstone, who has to juggle chaperoning his estranged daughter's field trip with
a bit weird,
monsters, which is about as funny as a killing field. Much more funny is the super serious crime drama Inside Out, where Triple H plays the personification of sadness inside the little girl's head. Oh, no, wait, no. He plays an ex-con who has to hang around with Michael Rappaport wearing a silly hat. Rappaport? Michael Rappaport. Rappaport. Repuled pork. silly hat. And finally, Blade.
Come on, that was a good film.
Triple H has made, which is like being the smartest Kardashian. Triple H is a vampire with a fat face and a tiny dog who can't beat Ryan Reynolds in a fight. A true trilogy of terrible. Number 6, being crushed by the Ultimate Warrior. 100 seconds. It took less than 100 seconds for the Ultimate Warrior to crush his WrestleMania 12 opponent. Who was that nameless jobber? Well, he actually had 3 names. Hunter, Hearst, Helmsley. Triple H hit the Warrior with a pedigree early in the match, which he immediately no-sold before casually removing his coat, then planting Helmsley with the splash. Warrior was fired a few months later for no-showing events, so this accomplished precisely nothing. So the next time you see the meme of Triple H with a shovel in his hand, just remember he's been on the wrong end of that spade in his own career. Number 5, his relationship with Chyna. Triple H and Shawn Michaels brought Chyna into the WWF after meeting her at a pro wrestling show in 1996. For years behind the scenes, Triple H was also in a relationship with Chyna. However, he entered into another relationship with Stephanie McMahon, and he and Chyna broke up. However, the whole situation became incredibly messy. Chyna claims that Triple H began seeing Stephanie whilst he and Chyna were still together, and the two had a physical dispute when she confronted him about it, which Triple H steadfastly denies. Chyna was fired from the company in 2001, not long after her relationship with Triple H came to an end, which seems especially cruel considering the problems Chyna has had since leaving the company. It's a murky backstage issue, especially with Triple H saying on Austin's podcast that Chyna has not been considered for the Hall of Fame, and the WWE would dearly like the whole matter to stay private and quiet. Number 4, how bad DX became. D-Generation X were genuinely game-changing when they arrived in the late 90s. They were the official heralds of a new wave of edgier, boundary-pushing content that became the Attitude Era. Shawn Michaels and Triple H were drunken doofus fat boys making jokes about big sausages and showing bums to people. The scamps. People loved it, but then they came back in 2006 and the shine was very much off the apple. In fact, the shine had been plastered on the apple with paint and it was giving off bad fumes. Almost a decade later, the two man-children were talking about Vince McMahon's cock, doing unfunny skits whilst dressed as Vince and Shane, and dropping poo on the McMahon's heads. Also, they beat up male cheerleaders, one of which was a secret Dolph Ziggler. Need more proof that New DX sucked? They added Hornswoggle, the patron saint of jumping the shark. Vince's illegitimate son, the anonymous Raw general manager, DX. Whenever an idea runs out of steam, just add Hornswoggle to deliver the killing blow. Number 3, drugging his wife. Triple H eventually did marry Stephanie McMahon and had incredibly wealthy children who were destined to have strong chins. But their storyline courtship began really creepily. Triple H was feuding with Vince McMahon at the time and decided to hit him where it hurts, right in the daughter. Steph was going out with Test and was set to marry him when naughty Triple H showed up with a video of him marrying Steph after having drugged her unconscious and used, ventriloquism to fool the drive-through minister into officiating a wedding between them. Naturally, being married against your will after being poisoned by a man then forcibly kissed by him on national TV before he beats up your dad is quite the turn-on for the modern woman because Stephanie fell in love with Triple H and they remain kayfabe married for years. Considering what a power couple they are now on TV, the whole drugging thing is probably best left to history. Number 2, the racist feud with Booker T. Well, considering everything that's now happened with Hulk Hogan, this feud is suddenly looking super problematic, proof that maybe WWE wants to be careful when choke-slamming stones in glass houses. In the lead-up to WrestleMania 19, Booker T was feuding with Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H cut a promo on him saying that people like you don't get to be champion, and you're here to make people like me laugh. During the feud, he also called him boy and threw money at him before telling him to fetch me a towel. Also, Ric Flair told Booker T to carry his bags. Literally, how can that happen in 2003? In the words of one other African-American champion, damn. When called on this horrendous bollocks, Triple H claimed that it wasn't about race and that people like you meant WCW guys. Sure, like Triple H in 1994, you mean?
Dear God,
you know,
state of that.
Right?
That's Triple H.
I know, bleeding hell. State of it.
Of course he bloody didn't. WWE is a bad company sometimes. Number 1, Katie Vick. Of course it's this. Of course it's Triple H romancing a mannequin in a coffin. It will never not be this. For anyone who missed the Kane video, the Katie Vick angle was about Triple H accusing Kane of killing a woman in a car crash and then having sex with her while she was dead. I have never wanted to be on the inside of a writer's room more. To cap off the cavalcade of absolute dick-witchery, Triple H put on a Kane mask and went to a funeral home, got in a coffin and made gentle friends with a dummy dressed like the aforementioned dead woman. Wow. Give that man a company. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can follow me on Twitter. Here,
Weird things in it when it comes to WWE writers, isn't it?
They're just weird anyway.
The writers, that's why a lot of them writers got sacked way after 2010.
It's like, why would you even agree to it?
He couldn't agree to it. Vince was the one who had
He's a
the...
knob anyway.
Vince McMahon had the yes,
Yeah,
and
but
if
he's
you
not-
didn't follow it,
Well,
that was
being
it.
funny. I won't give a flying monkey's doodah. What are you bleeding off at? I was no way. If somebody said to me, "That's what you got to do," I got swivel on your bike.
Rightio. So, that is the end of this video, people. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I surely did. I think one might change your mind about Triple H. Do you change your mind about Triple H?
A very strange person.
Anyhow, people, the people I'm goes to you guys for subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time. Cheerio!
Bye.